pop in a plant rather than giving it water? It'll die. What happens to a society that has filled its midst with sodomy and all kinds of other ungodly acts? Kind of reminds you of Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, you end up with the kind of news that we see here. How do you help the situation? By saying no more. I don't want to be part of Satan's kingdom. Remember, it was Jesus who said, "Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden and are burdened, and I will give you rest." That's a promise, and you know the Lord is no liar, whereas we know the devil is a liar. First of all, friend, which table are you sitting at? When you buy records like that, even Van Halen records, you're contributing to a system that is helping society get to be more and more like Sodom and Gomorrah.
The goat's head is a key symbol of the beast. Yet throughout history, Satan has taken on many different shapes and disguises. He's widely considered by conventional religions as the embodiment of evil, on a mission to tempt man to sin and destroy God's kingdom. Today we have found Satan is alive and thriving, or at least plenty of people believe he is. His followers are extremely secretive, but found in all walks of life.
Now today there's a high rise in the occult, and the occult, they blaspheme the cross of Christ, Christianity, His blood, and just as secular rock and roll does, they also do the same thing the occult do. They talk backwards. Here's the head pins for you, backwards.
Feel my body. Feel my body. Feel my body. Feel my body.
We know that in rock and roll music today, there's 3 types of backward masking. Stuff they do on purpose, others they follow the teachings of Aleister Crowley, and another form of backward masking that just appears in the music, not knowingly and not the teachings of Aleister Crowley. I've shown you the 3 types, but we'll get more specific. This band one night playing a Ouija board, the board spelt Cheap Trick, and in Circus Magazine the singer says the rest is history. Now let's watch Cheap Trick going at it with a little chirping sound you'll hear in the background as we play this song forward for you. And now we'll slow the record down to hear the Lord's Prayer. Now this is done on purpose. Now let's slow this song down for you to hear the Lord's Prayer. Now the Bible warns us about mockers that would come in the latter days. My friends, Black Oak, Arkansas, in a live concert situation, came out on stage and said Natas 3 times and Gate 3 times. Played backwards, it becomes Satan, he is God. Now when the Bible says you reap what you sow, watch this. Remember the movie Rosemary's Baby? Charles Manson had several dealings with this First Church of Satan protected by law. So you're saying, what's the connection with Rosemary's Baby? Charles Manson murdered Sharon Tate, and the director of Rosemary's Baby was Roman Polanski, her husband. Now friends, what you just saw there was the movie The Exorcist, and many parts played frontwards made no sense whatsoever. You see, when the Bible says that Satan is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour, he's going after you and your children. Now the devil is going to show you no mercy. Let's go to the movie The Exorcist, play it backwards for you. It's going to say simple enough, I am no one, and then he is a priest.
I am no one. I am no one. I am no one.
I am no one.
He is a priest.
Now my friends, the Bible says that Jesus had cast a demon out of a man, and that demon was in a dry place, uncomfortable. You see, a demon always wants a body that's moist, either that of a man or an animal. Now in this coming clip backwards, you're going to hear him say, "It is warm in the body, give us time," and then, "Are you healed and liar?" Now watch this.
Give us time. Give us time. I heal. It is warm in the body. I heal. It is warm in the body.
Now my friends, we've already discussed how does the devil treat his subjects? He plainly stabs them in the back, lifts the carpet right up from under their feet.
A teenager murdered and mutilated his own mother. I believe that evil will once again rise and conquer the love of God. If this pact is to your approval, sign below.
Just barely 14 years old, Tommy Sullivan had written this contract with the devil before he butchered his mother with his Boy Scout knife. The murder took place in the basement of the Sullivan family home.
As we came down here, we found Mrs. Sullivan laying on the floor just about in this area here.
Describe the condition of the body.
It appeared that her throat had been cut and a good portion of her face had literally been slashed away. Tommy died as brutally as his mother did, but at his own hands.
What did Tommy then manage to do to himself? What wounds did he inflict on himself to kill himself?
His first self-inflicted wounds were a series of wounds to his wrists. 3, if I remember correctly, deep enough to actually sever the arteries and the tendons in his arm, enough to snap back his wrist. And after doing that, he literally slit his throat from ear to ear with this 3.5-inch knife from the windpipe all the way back to the spinal column, and to the point of almost taking his head off.
Now friends, let's face it, where does a 14-year-old boy get strength like that? Demon possession? Well, you see, this is the neighborhood, and this is his bedroom the night that he was killed. Well, one thing's clear, maybe rock music didn't do it, but do kids really need added peer pressure by rockers?
By using the chant, we might be able to lure it away from Cobra Island and into a deep-sea trench.
Well, you know us. Anything for a laugh. Let's give it a try.
Heavy with Tally, Razit, SGSM, Talk After Isao, so Absedo, Incident. Anybody listening to this backwards, our secret occult message is a real dweeb.
Our attempt. File of it in it. So on we. Oh.
Anybody listening to this backwards, our secret occult message is a real dweeb.
Our attempt. File of it in it. So on we. Oh.
A town of about 4,000 souls in the heart of the Bible Belt, where people believe in God and the devil. Periodically, satanic graffiti and some mutilated animals turn up, causing alarmists to cry that satanic cults are operating in the area. Those charges were routinely discounted until a group of students from this high school shocked the entire nation. Late one night last December, 4 teenagers who had been dabbling in Satanism carried baseball bats, a cat, and a length of rope to an isolated spot near their small town here in Missouri. By the time the night was over, the cat had been mutilated and one of the boys beaten to death by the other 3, who then dumped his body in a well. One of the kids who did it, Pete Rowland, is now serving life sentence without parole here at this maximum security facility in Fulton, Missouri. The other 2 boys, his classmates, were also sentenced to life.
Have you ever been
Here in the first interview since the murder, Pete Rowland talks about the satanic elements of the crime.
What was it about Satanism that attracted you?
Power. Just, with power comes money, comes girls, just